Hi, fourth grade, it's Mrs. Feathers. I'm here to go over your last and final grammar practice pages of the year. Your pages this week are pages 131 to 134. We are going to be looking at comparing with adverbs as well as reviewing some other grammar rules. Your first page is 131. This page, the box tells us that adverbs can be used to compare two or more actions. We use ER or EST to most short adverbs to compare actions, and we use more or most with long adverbs and a few short adverbs to compare actions. On this page, you're going to complete each sentence by circling the correct adverb in parentheses. Number 1 says, I swim the blank in my team. Since a team is made up of a lot of people, I want to use the superlative form of fast, which is fastest. I swim the fastest in my team. You will complete this page with the same directions. Your next page is 132, and this page is looking at comparing with irregular adverbs. The box at the top tells us that we add ER or EST or more or most to most adverbs to compare actions. We use better and best to make comparisons using the adverb well, and we use worse and worst to make comparisons using the adverb badly. This page has two parts. Part A says to complete each sentence with better or best to compare. And number 1 says, she did the blank of all the students in the class. A class is a lot of people, so I want to use the superlative form of well, which is best. She did the best of all the students in the class. Part B says to complete each sentence with worse or worst to compare. Number 6 says, I scored blank on the test than my friend. I am comparing myself to my friend, so I want to use the comparative form of badly, which is worse. I scored worse on the test than my friend. You will complete this page with the same directions for part A and B. Page 133 is a review of punctuation and capitalization. In the box, it reminds us of 3 grammar rules. So for the first one, it says that we use a comma before coordinating conjunctions, after a beginning dependent clause, and to separate 3 or more items in a series. The second review is that we capitalize sentence beginnings, proper adjectives, proper nouns, and the first word in a quotation that is a full sentence. Finally, a comma or period also always goes inside closing quotation marks. A question mark or exclamation mark goes inside when it is part of a quotation. The directions state to write each sentence by correcting the capitalization and punctuation errors. Number 1 says, my father had a German Shepherd when he was a boy. I gave you a hint that there is one mistake. It is with the word German. German is a proper adjective, so it needs to be capitalized. Numbers 2 and 3 also have one mistake. Number 4 has 2 mistakes, and numbers 5 and 6 have one mistake. Your last practice page for the entire year is practice page 134. This is a proofreading page. The box on the top gives us some reminders from pages 131 to 133. And you are going to be rewriting the sentences below, correcting mistakes in adverbs, capitalization, and punctuation. Number 1 says, when I was rehearsing, I acted weller than I did on stage. This one has 2 mistakes. One is with a comma, and another is with an adverb. This comma placement should be after rehearsing because that is a dependent clause at the beginning of my sentence. You can even hear it when I read. When we use commas, it tells a reader to take a breath and pause. So this sentence should be read as, when I was rehearsing, I acted weller than I did on stage. The second one is with the word weller. That doesn't even sound right. It should say, when I was rehearsing, comma, I acted better than I did on stage. Number 2 has 2 mistakes. Number 3 has 2 mistakes. 4 and 5 have 1, and 6 has 2. That is your last grammar unit of the year. When you are done, you can take your grammar quiz on Google Classroom. Mrs. Oliver, Mr. Casper, and myself want to say thank you for all the hard work that you have been putting in. And we also want to see who's watching our videos and if they're sticking around to the end. If you email us the silly phrase, stinky feet, you will get a bonus point. Have a wonderful rest of the year and a summer, and we'll see you back as 5th graders. Bye, 4th grade.